The stock market explained. Now, in order for us to understand the inner workings and the complexities of the stock market, let's first of all understand what a market is. So, a market is a place where buyers and sellers come together to transact. So, in order for you to have a market, you need a buyer and a seller. So, say for example, you have a fish market. You have people selling and supplying fish and people willing to buy fish, right? And you have a fish market. You can also have a fruit and vegetable market. You have sellers of fruit and vegetables and buyers of fruit and vegetables. And together they form the fruit and vegetable market. So hopefully we understand what a market is. So now we answer the question, what is a stock? All right, so a stock represents a share of ownership in a company. Keyword here being share of ownership. Let's look at a real example. Let's look at JP Morgan. So every business is divided into units of ownership called shares. So in this example, for illustrative purposes, let's say JP Morgan has 36 shares. And say you believe that JP Morgan is the best bank in the world, you believe its profitability is going to continue to increase, and you want to take part in that upside. So say you decide to buy 4 shares of JP Morgan. So this makes you a part owner of the business. And when you buy 4 shares, you now own 11% of JP Morgan. That's 4 divided by 36. So now that you're a part owner of the business, this means you take part in the upside of the business and you also take part in the downside of the business. So say the share price, JP Morgan's share price doubles in the next few years. That means your shares also double in value. So hopefully we understand what a market is and hopefully we understand what a stock is. So what then is the stock market? Simply put, the stock market is a marketplace for buyers and sellers of shares of companies. Right? There are thousands of businesses that you can buy ownership in. You have your big tech companies like Microsoft, Meta. You have companies like Netflix, Cisco, IBM. You also have Apple, Nvidia, AMD. You also have your retail companies like Amazon, McDonald's, Starbucks, Visa, MasterCard. And almost all of us, interact with these companies on a daily basis. Almost everyone receives an Amazon package at least once a week, if not every day. We all use Visa, MasterCard every day. So in a way, we are all contributing to the growth and the profitability of these companies. So why not buy ownership and take part in that upside? Right. So why should you invest? All right. Maybe someone's thinking, okay, I have a rough idea of what the stock market is, but why should I participate? Right. Here's an interesting fact. The wealthiest people in the world are not billionaires because of the salaries they earn. There's this belief that you have to climb the corporate ladder, earn 6 figures, and you've made it in life. Okay, but let's look at the wealthiest people in the world. Let's look at Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett. None of these individuals became billionaires because of the salaries they earn. Uh, Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, as CEO of Amazon, he earned a salary of $80,000. Okay. So you ask yourself the question, how does someone on a salary of $80,000 become a billionaire? The answer is he owns Amazon stock. Okay. And as the share price of Amazon has grown tremendously, and so has his wealth increased tremendously, might I add. But it's not as simple as just saying, he owns Amazon stock, right? He owns loads of Amazon stock. He owns approximately 964 million shares of Amazon. And he's also owned Amazon stock for a long time, right? Since 1994 to present day. So here's some wisdom about the stock market. You have to own loads of shares. You have to own a vast amount of stock, and you have to hold it for a long time. Right? I was reading one of Warren Buffett's annual letter to shareholders, and he's owned companies like Coca-Cola and American Express since 1997. That's almost 28 years. And you have people who, they buy good quality companies, and after 6 months, after a few months, they're already selling their shares. I used to be one of those people. But you have to stay in the game. You have to hold your shares for a long time. You have to play the long game. Right. In conclusion, I submit to you that the stock market is one of the greatest tools for wealth creation. Okay. We've established that the wealthiest people are not rich because of their salaries. Right. So what the stock market allows you to do is it allows you to buy ownership in businesses that are already successful. Okay, you don't have to go out and start your own company, work 100 hours a week, sleep in your office. By all means, if that is your calling, then go for it. But you know, starting a business is not for everyone, right? So what the stock market allows you to do is you can buy ownership in businesses that are already successful, and you can take part in that upside. Better yet, you can just buy, all these companies at once. This is called the S&P 500. So you can buy all these companies and just hold them. Every month or every so often, you can just, you know, keep investing, and just hold for a long time. Just play the long game. This is how generational wealth is built. I hope this has been of some value to you. In future videos, we'll look at different investment strategies. We'll look at how to actually buy a share. I want this channel to be as practical as possible. So like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.